I will discuss 3 books that have profoundly impacted my business life. I cannot imagine how I would navigate the challenging business world without the insights from these 3 books. Therefore, these titles are not merely the focus of a simple video, but they represent my genuine pride and passion. I am truly grateful for the knowledge I have gained from them. So today, I will share with you the stories of these books that have genuinely transformed my mindset and thinking, ultimately shaping what I have achieved today. Let's dive right in. The first book is Lean Startup by Eric Ries. This is one of the books I admire greatly. I first read it when it was published around 2011. The moment it was released, I purchased it, as Eric Ries was already a well-known author in the startup community. When I read this book for the first time, I felt immense happiness, as it became my guiding principle throughout my entrepreneurial journey. Although the book covers many topics, I grasped its core message. No matter what you do, start small. Don't wait for all conditions to be perfect before taking action. Instead, begin with a small project, make adjustments as you progress, and gradually improve everything. That is the key idea I always want to convey to you. As you embark on your business journey, please consider starting small. If you have $10,000, invest only $1,000 initially and keep the remaining $9,000 reserved for any unforeseen issues. Don't throw all your money into a venture at once. It's like gambling. If you fail, it becomes exceedingly difficult to bounce back, and that's incredibly risky. The lean startup approach will provide you with sturdy, step-by-step progress. Starting small doesn't equate to being weak. It demonstrates an understanding of your capacity. Launch a tiny project, introduce your product to the market, and gauge customer feedback. If it's successful, you can invest further to scale up. If not, you can make gradual changes. Thanks to this mindset, I have implemented numerous revisions since the inception of my business. At the outset, everyone desires to appear grand and impressive, but once you dive in, you quickly realize the limitations of your resources amid various expenses. Bankruptcy can sneak up on you before you realize it. Fortunately, with the knowledge I acquired, I understand what I need to do. I know I must preserve my cash flow, invest wisely, and continue advancing despite my initial small scale. As you can see today, by applying what I learned from this book, I have managed to grow my company while still maintaining effective management based on the lean concepts the author outlines. I highly recommend that you read this book thoroughly. It will leave you feeling inspired and excited, equipped with foundational ideas about what you should do next. The second book is Marketing Insights from A to Z by Philip Kotler. This book delves into essential marketing concepts that every manager needs to understand. I must confess, without this book, I probably wouldn't have succeeded in business. Coming from a non-business background, I initially knew nothing about this field. Therefore, I had to seek out the most fundamental knowledge. At that time, I read numerous books, but it's worth noting that someone without a business background often finds such literature quite overwhelming and, frankly, a bit daunting. Thankfully, I found this book on Amazon, and it was highly rated. After skimming through the reviews, I noticed people mentioned it was an easy read, so I decided to purchase it. Upon reading, I was thrilled to find that it was indeed easy to understand, yet comprehensive. It covers 80 key concepts that provided me with a clear understanding of what marketing truly entails and what actions I should take. Later, when I began applying the lessons I learned, I found myself recognizing various situations, understanding what each scenario meant, and knowing how to coordinate different elements to resolve challenges. Even in difficult moments, I could identify the gaps or weaknesses I faced, all thanks to the 80 essential marketing concepts this book offers. Although it covers a considerable number of concepts, the book isn't overly lengthy, making it a quick and enjoyable read. There's a rewarding feeling when you finish a book like this. I feel, wow, I have grasped 80 concepts and it feels like I've been upgraded. This has given me a lot of confidence. I want to reiterate, if it weren't for this book, I probably wouldn't be in business, folks. I can learn even more advanced concepts, but fundamentally, these 80 concepts have helped me immensely. People tend to chase after grand and extravagant ideas while their foundations are almost non-existent. Therefore, I genuinely recommend to you all, if you are newcomers in business, or even if you have an economics background and feel somewhat unclear about marketing, advertising, or basic concepts, I urge you to read this book. It is genuinely beneficial for you. It's very easy to read. There's nothing convoluted or overly complex. The knowledge it provides truly makes us feel upgraded. Now, I'll introduce the final book I want to share in today's video. This is a book I read 10 years ago, and to this day, I still feel incredibly fortunate to have come across it. Honestly, I consider myself lucky. My channel has been built based on the core ideas from this book. It is The World is Flat by author Thomas Friedman. He is a foreign affairs and economics columnist. When will we see another book of such value in the literary world? Because it's not just valuable academically, but economically, socially, and in every aspect of life, it holds immense value. 10 years ago, when I first read this book, I was shocked because his predictions were so foreign to me. I read about how people sell globally, how Americans can hire skilled and highly competent workers from India for very low wages. I learned how to find logistics companies that can deliver goods across countries. Clearly, my entire business mindset shifted. Of course, when I first read this book, I only viewed it as a reference. But when I got into actual business, reading it a second time was like fish meeting water. There was so much I could apply. This is a book about globalization. It discusses events, social phenomena, and economic occurrences that can transcend any nation. Today's world is a flat world. Everyone coexists in a larger society, and everyone is equal. In the past, it was nearly impossible for an American to communicate with a Chinese person. Now, thanks to the internet, logistics services, and various supportive services, calling America or even shipping goods to Africa is extremely easy. This book provided me with the concept and the empowerment that I could achieve that. From 10 years ago until now, it's clear that many of the author's predictions have come true. I genuinely encourage you all to read this book. Many of the things you read in this book today may not seem new because they have already occurred, but you should still read it to understand why these events happen, what their underlying causes are, and how historically they came about. When you have a comprehensive and coherent understanding of the issues, only then can you apply it correctly and generate profits. If you only have a vague understanding, it will be very difficult to make money. Therefore, I strongly advise you and sincerely hope you strive to read these 3 books in detail and thoroughly. Your business endeavors can change 100% when you truly acquire this knowledge. These 3 books are ones I genuinely cherish and am deeply grateful for. And even now, in my spare time, I still revisit them. Every time I read them, I feel excited and emotional, thinking about how lucky I am to have accessed such literature. Thank you for watching this video. Goodbye, and see you in the next videos.